This isn't just another podcast. We're crushing the taboos and we're rewriting the rules. It's the space where we normalize women becoming wealthy. If you're done playing small and ready to become the CEO of your life and the architect of your future, then my girl, you're in the right room. Welcome to your wealthy era. Welcome to the Wealthy CEO podcast.
2026 is here. Is it just me, or did you feel like last year just flew by? And if you didn't have a roadmap for 2025, you probably blinked and looked back and go, where did that whole year go to? And this is part of why I always say the beginning of 2026 or the beginning of any year, you carving out time to create intentionality for how you're going to show up in the year is so extremely important. And as you know, I have a daughter who she actually just turned 1 on December 28th. We had a beautiful Christmas season with her first Christmas, first time meeting Santa Claus, her first birthday photo shoot, so many beautiful, magical moments. And normally I will dedicate time in December, even at the end of November. Actually, it's usually when I ramp up for looking the year ahead and starting to reflect on the year that's passed as I wrap up the year. But because this year, the end of last year anyways, was filled with so many of Koa's firsts, I didn't have time to dedicate that space properly. And so me and my partner over the last few days, January 1st and even yesterday, we were sitting down and going over everything that I love going through in order to thank the year that's gone by, to reflect, looking at the biggest blessings and gratitude moments, but the hardest lessons and challenges that have taken place, the pain points, what we can learn from, what are we going to be leaving behind in the year, and then what we're going to be bringing into 2026. And I'm sorry, you can hear I'm a little under the weather. And if you're watching this, you'll see I'm in my grubs. I just finished up a workout and Koa is sleeping right now. And I thought, let me come on into the studio because I wanted to get this into your ears. And this is just how it is sometimes now for me. If I don't make it raw and real, it will just not happen. So if you're watching this, you can see I've got my protein shake beside me. And I just wanted to come and spend a few minutes with you today as we are in a new month of a new year. And this is the year of the horse. I don't know if that means anything to you, but this year has the ability to be an acceleration year for you. And it's kind of like a clean slate starting over. And so if you're already like, we're almost a week into January and you haven't created intentions, you haven't looked at your goals, you have not, I don't believe in setting New Year's resolutions. It has one of the greatest failure rates. And oftentimes that's because people come up with these crazy goals, massive goals, and they're not as attainable in the short term. And they do them for a little period of time and then they fall off to the wayside. And so I really believe rather than setting New Year's resolutions, reflecting and looking at what is your 10-year vision? What does it look like 10 years from now? And for a lot of people, they can't even think past 12 months, never mind going into the future of 10 years. But it's really important to start there and then work back because this is your roadmap. This is what you're working towards. And listen, the more you do this practice, you will see that your 10-year vision can change. Mine has changed over the last 10 years. When I was in my 20s, thinking about what life's going to be like in my 30s, and in my 30s and thinking about what my life's going to be in my 40s, it has tweaked a bit. Some stuff is actually still the same, or my desires are the same, but the details might have changed. And that's so fascinating to actually see when your desire is still there, but some of those details of how you achieve it or what the framework, what it looks like might change. But I want to encourage you to start with a 10-year vision and giving yourself some really big goals to fulfill these desires that you have. And then you work back from there. you do a 5-year or even a 3-year plan, and then you look at the next 12 months. What needs to happen over these next 12 months in order to move the needle to get you closer to what your 10-year vision is, your 5-year plan is, and then your 12 months is going to be the action steps and the roadmaps to getting you there. And this is really one of the most important meetings that you could set aside for the year. And so oftentimes, people will say, forget last year, I'm done with it. I'm ready for a new year. But I want to encourage you that it is really important to reflect and look back first before you look ahead. You want to sit in a spirit of gratitude, even if you had a horrible year. I'm going to be really honest with you right now. 2024 and 2025 were two of the hardest years of my life in over a decade. The pain that I have had to walk through and endure, and challenges and heartaches that I have had to go through were extremely hard, and yet they were met with the polarity or the duality of some of my life's biggest blessings and greatest joys. My daughter being one of them, getting pregnant, and having her over these last 12 months has been my anchor for peace, my anchor for joy. She was absolutely up there on the top thing that I'm grateful for in 2025, even though I had to experience, or I did experience, some of the hardest pains that I said that I haven't had in over a decade. And so, you need to look at both and be grateful. What were the lessons that I needed to learn out of the pain? If you allow, pain can be your greatest teacher. It doesn't need to bring you into victimhood. It can actually bring you to victory if you allow it and you're open. And so I encourage you to look back on the year, and also then, what are you leaving behind in 2025? What habits do you need to stop doing? And what do you need to change in order to make 2026 actually different than last year? Because if you don't make any changes, if nothing changes, nothing is going to change. You are the one who is in control of the controllables. And so I want you to take that time to actually reflect on, what is 2026 going to look like? How do you want to feel? How do you want to show up? Who do you want to become? And what does she do? How does she move? How does she think? Because these are the habits that you're going to have to start creating in your life right now. And so often we want to fill our plate with things more that we have to do. And sometimes our becoming means that we need to unbecome first, meaning we need to stop doing certain things to actually create space to allow the new to come in. And I'll be honest, for me, 2025 was really a becoming for myself. Obviously, I stepped into motherhood for the first time, and that's completely new and has so many learning curves and beautiful challenges that grow me and stretch me and expand me. But I also had to pause and really unbecome a version of myself that I have known up to this point. And I had to be okay with, I actually need to stop doing certain things in order to become the mom I want to be, the woman that I want to be, and where I'm going. And that's also for me what I've been sitting with right now is the vision of this now woman. Who is she becoming? Who is Shae becoming? How do I need to show up? How can I serve? How can I lead? And what do I need to be doing differently? And so I want to encourage you to really take time to do that. And then once you've had all of that in place, you can look at your goals, what you want to achieve. Maybe it's a podcast you want to start, it's a book you want to start writing, a business that you want to start creating, a relationship that you need to leave, a job you need to leave, whatever that looks like for you. Once you get clear on the year past and now looking at your 10-year vision and the 12 months ahead of you, that's when you can create your vision board and you get visual. I love using Canva. Some people still love getting out the magazines and cutting things out. I just think it takes a lot longer and it's harder to find exactly what I'm looking for. And I'm extremely detail orientated. So I love being able to find the exact house that I am envisioning in my head with the colors, the cars, business, family, whatever that is. I like to be able to pull that from the internet. And even now you can use Chat GPT to create an even better ideal version of whatever it is that you're envisioning. So I use Canva to create my vision board, but you have to start with all of the other stuff before you can do that. So I encourage you to get that done this month if you've not already done it or it's not underway. And I want to share with you an invitation for this year. Over Christmas, there was a lot of things that I witnessed that actually broke my heart, if I'm honest. When I looked at things happening around the world, in different countries, places like Germany and in France, even here in Canada and Toronto, seeing Christmas being removed and destroyed um, was very disheartening, and it was very dark actually to witness. And deep within me, in my core, I just felt this call that 2026 is going to require those of us who embody love and light, those of us who have faith, those of us who believe in God and call Jesus Lord. Um, 2026 is going to be a year where you are going to be called to rise and to lead in a place from peace and a place from love. But I really believe that it's going to cause so much transformation in business and really inviting God into the fabric of your life in every area, not just going to church on Sundays or praying a few times throughout the week, but I really mean having him be the co-creator of everything that you're building, from your family to your business, your relationship, your finances, your health. And right now, I find there's not a strong enough community, especially for women, where we can congregate and come together to be entrepreneurs, to be women in business that are bringing in God into the core of what they're doing. There's so much woo woo language out there, spirituality, calling it the universe, the divine. And this is 2026 is going to be calling for radicalness in the most peaceful and beautiful, but very particular way, if I can be honest. It's not enough to be saying, the divine and calling on the universe to guide us. Um, when you look at what is happening around the world, things are becoming much more black and white. And we need to make sure we know which source we are pulling in our energy from. We need to make sure we know who we're opening ourselves up to. And if you've been hanging out with me on Instagram for a while, you know that I um, have done different workshops and master classes, masterminds for women who are in business, and not even in business, I just women in general, but a lot of the women in my circle are women in business, but women who have a desire to lead their lives, to become the CEO of their lives and really see transformation happening in all of the different areas of their business and creating impact positively around them. And one of the biggest things that I have shared often, and really is part of one of the pillars, my pillar values for this podcast, is to empower women to become more financially literate so that they can become more financially empowered, being able to create generational wealth and so that you can pass that down to your kids, to your loved ones. And I really believe that when more money not just moves through the hands of women, but women are able to hold it, they're able to understand it, they're able to multiply it, they're able to compound it. This is when we actually see so much good in the world start to change and start to happen. And women, we are nurturers, we are caretakers. And when more women are empowered because they have not just stability, but they have overflow. This is where we start seeing families changed, which means we see neighborhoods and communities change. We see cities change, and it has a ripple effect to impact countries and impact the world. And so tied with those kind of two things, I'd been wanting to launch actually this year a a mastermind that's more than just a mastermind, where we really are building legacy for women. And over the Christmas holidays, I just felt like I kept hearing God say to me, "You need to bring me into this." More women need to feel my love. They need to feel my grace, what's available to them, that they were made for more, that they are worthy, that they are deserving. And I'm here to co-create life with them. And so I am going to be launching in February the Build Her Legacy. And this is not going to be just a regular mastermind. We are going to be creating a space for women that want to co-create with God at the center in all the different areas of their lives. And I want to extend this invitation to you. I would love for you to join in February. And if any of this is resonating for you, you can reach out to me on Instagram, send me a DM with the word mastermind and or even legacy, and you and I will connect on the details. We can jump on a call and see if this is a right fit for you. But I would be so grateful to have you into this mastermind so that we can be building with intentionality legacy for not just 2026, but the ripple effect that is going to carry on for years to come. So flip me a line on Instagram. You can also send me an email. I'll put my email in the show notes, but it's just Shae at shaeandco.com. So SHAE at Shae, SHAE and ANDCO.com. So Shae at shaeandco.com. And we are going to kick that off in February. So make sure to not delay. If this is resonating with you, if this is of interest to you, if you have questions, send me an email or flip me a message on Instagram and let's connect. My friends, this year, my hope, my prayer for you is that it would be the year that you look back on the year of the horse that has the ability to give you a clean slate to accelerate your passions, your desires, your visions, that you would say, this is the year that I became the woman that I wanted to be, the woman that I have been envisioning. And I'll let you in it on a secret. You already are her. You just need to let her out. You just need to believe in her, and you need to start acting like her. And so, again, this is what this mastermind is going to do inside of Build Her Legacy. We are going to let her out. We're going to give her the tools, the framework, the passion, the drive, the community. My goodness, the community. This is probably one of my favorite parts about any mastermind is the other women that you get to connect with inside, and then you end up co-creating from that space together. And it's so beautiful and it's so powerful. So I leave you with that. I want to say Happy New Year. And I want this to be an incredible year for you all, where you are moving the needle in your life. And this isn't just going to be another year that passes you by and that you blink and go, what just happened to that year? We want to show up. We want to live on purpose, live with intention. So I love you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
If something in today's episode resonated with you or sparked a shift, tag me on IG or send me a DM. I genuinely love hearing what lands for you. And if it spoke to you, share it or leave a quick review. It helps more women find this show and step into their own wealthy era. Until next time, lead with purpose, live with intention, and stay wealthy.